It is systematically does not implement it. We see that all over the planet after Nikola Tesla, going on a certain drag, and we see that we are here in the lab, packed full of already existing and functioning exhibits, but e-mobile project shut down. And now you cannot buy a bike with an electric motor. With the same question to me the first time came representatives of Ural car factory, saying, why our industry, which now ready to produce? Well, because I got to know them well. I trust and even giving them confided technical documentation. You will not believe. No one does this. It's just a suicide. So I am giving to the plant working technical documentation on which to build. So that distinguished Lepsi, they assembled it. It does not work. An engineer went there, from top officials. Went kind of with inspection. What's the matter? Well, he knows my motor. He says, magnets mixed, elementary thing, north and south. Okay, so how to make sure that every Moscovite would be able to buy such a bike? Well, that's why I'm starting to work with this company. Immediately raised the question that the contract will include the phrase, I can show you that. If they are during this short period will not start production, I have the right to take back my intellectual property. This is great. Not every entrepreneur venture on this. What if he won't be able quickly on the factory? But they would be able. We cooperate for about 9 months. I made a few units. We tested them. And now I know it will be fine. But now I'm afraid to say anything in advance. And how much will cost such a bike? Approximately, well, this bike will cost more expensive than Chinese, because their bike's quite cheap. But they crawling at 19-20 kilometers per hour. Chinese entrepreneurs been here, and left the bikes, honestly. With the bikes came, they say, keep the bikes, to show how not to do. Really, I charged the battery to the end 36 volts, 3 batteries, 19 kilometers traveled, the end. I think, I may be mistaken. We charge again 19 to 20 kilometers 12 miles. Written in advertising 80 kilometers range 50 miles. And then, the note at the bottom, with the condition of the pedaling assist, well, like this you can write 120 and 140. We even cut the pedals, so won't be a temptation. We take it on testing as a module, bench testing, in Krylotsko, etc. As you can see, no pedal assist, it goes, if you put just the 2 batteries. And we have a record, for somewhere 65 to 70 kilometers. 2 batteries only, not 3 as theirs. If powered by 3, it about up to 100 kilometers can increase the range. Now we bought a Taiwanese motorcycle, cute. We made motor for it. And already claiming the urban scooter, for it 90 to 95 kilometers 60 miles it's normal. Its price will be like this. The motor is not less than $200, well, maybe $250. It will depend, even $300. Yes, itself. It's cheap. We bought it for 34,000 rubles. Well, $1,000, so $1,300 to $1,500. That's without consideration that we can order the party without gasoline engines. Will be cheaper. We negotiated this question. If we also take wholesale quantity, it will immediately bring down the price. They relieved this motorcycle from the engine, leaving only a fork, where we fasten our motor wheel. But electronics on us. This is a pulse width modulator with speed control, and a small block. The electronic speed controller, nothing more. and if in the Indian and American models. Now I'll show you. There are processors that receive the original signal from the handle, and then goes such transformation in there to three-phase. Can we get a closer look? 32 or 34 wires. You imagine, on an assembly line, the poor Indians, they sit and watch. Red, dark red, are color blind. There is nothing to do. Once an error, and everything will burn. I see everything here, SMD components. One component burns, and everything, in the garbage. Well, you feel the difference. That's mine, one wire by which pulse is applied, yes. The quantum energy, as a spark plug, frame, one contact point, wire, second, that's all. Distinguished Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Medvedev, all billionaires, millionaires. Do you feel the difference? That's why Russia undefeatable. Do you feel the difference? See what savings in metallurgy, plastics, organization, instrument basis, all over. I see the smart in the picture, a product of Hayek Engineering. Mercedes, you have been associated with the Hayek Engineering and Development. No. I was at the show in Paris and in the store saw this one car. Immediately asked to remove the wheel. They took it off. I saw the couplings. I realized that is Soyuz Apollo. Docked in space only by the letters and drawings. Here wheel couple easy. Two motors I already making. Originally it was a car and the concept, no electric motor. But it is not for nothing called the student's car. And cheap, I looked, acceleration, weight, all matches, it is not cheap by the way, well, it's Mercedes initially. But I have bosses to promise me, we are bringing this car to us, to make an innovative model, and to show it. Yes, and we also putting, there is a nice little oblong trunk, we putting an engine across. We already have it, we removed it from the Taiwanese, the internal combustion engine. This little engine not noisy at all, it will, through the generator, I patented it. I'll show you my generator, it receives 11 amps and gives back 10. So 1 ampere is not enough to perpetual motion, but in the future I'll do it. I'm perfectly sure. We realized, there is an error which must be corrected. Now it's just require, like this window some photo element cell, panel. To add 1 amp, it is insignificant, yes, solar panel. Please, you're in the country, you do not need a wind turbine, or other, combustion engine. You don't need anything, you turn on this motor generator, inside it has motor. And on the outer part, multi-pole generator. Frequency varies greatly. 35 Hz, the motor, and 670 to 700 Hz generator. Overlap is colossal. Fairly easy movement and that's it. But generator charges powerful batteries. They are 2 of 90 amp hours to these 24 volts. 2 batteries, connected pure sine, so-called. Heard of it? Right. Novosibirsk makes it and other cities, they selling it in Moscow. Usual inverter, quite right. So, from 24 volts it converts energy to 220. They are 4 kilowatts. 6, 8. I made by request of the Azerbaijan government. I have the letter with the seals and everything. It's Mr. Alec Briv, he been here. And I made them 10 kilowatt, at 220 volts. It was my mistake, but they liked it. That is, directly 220, not need 24, but directly 220. And as they explained to me from Sochi Technical Expertise Bureau, they've been here. Lugansky, Sochi's Rutherford he called, articles about him, so, Ernest Petrovich said, "This is a mistake. It is necessary to convert the energy down to 24 volt. And here's why. As soon as you leave the house, you have to cut down this all. And this pause. It's useless. And if it's 24 volts and big accumulators, here, you can put capacitors. They have an infinite number of charge-discharge. And the generator working, and this pause, the night when nothing plugged in. It allows you to fill the reservoirs with coulombs, and then you turn on this pure sine and use. At 220 you cannot do this, you must either turn it on or off. And at the loss of this pause in time, it will not be filled, and here it is full, constantly. If the wind turbine, it's just perfect. Now you put here this motor, not 10 kilowatts, which I did for Azerbaijan, but 1.5 kilowatts. I put it on the wind turbine, it is very easy to rotate, and all the time it recharges these batteries. It's the same thing that I told you about the main and reserve battery. And here is a huge time savings. On 220 I was sure I was right. Just as you reasoned. Why conversion? It is always a loss of efficiency. Somehow many believe that once you put combustion engine. I showed this rickshaw. On TV it had been shown many times. When the Sochi Olympics and when the technical board came here. It was this rickshaw they were impressed a lot. I have a formal letter from deputy head of city of Sochi. They ordered buses for the Sochi Olympics. It was in 2010, so here goes. There is an internal combustion engine. And experts directly to me, what are you? The engine there is only 30% efficiency. The losses, the transformation losses, I said, no losses. 1 liter of gasoline is 13.6 kilowatt hours. Imagine, a liter of gasoline. To place these 13.6 kilowatt hours in my car, it will take so much space, I do not know. And here buzzing a small motor that is constantly. You are standing at the traffic lights. Or even somewhere, you know, when in normal car we just burn gasoline and emit the carbonic acid. In here power is 10 times less. And then you're standing at the traffic lights and accumulate energy in the batteries. And then you go. I have 14 liters tank on rickshaw. 1 liter 100 kilometers, 1,400 kilometers on 14 liter tank. We tested this, checked everything. This is a conversion, if take smart approach to it. As well as here, first we make 24 volt storage in batteries. And then through the inverter device, it is like a shoebox. Novosibirsk makes 6 kilowatts, 6 irons can be plugged. Never happens. Maybe a few teapots. And you are virtually unplugged from the world. One thing, you will have to change the batteries in 5 years, well, to pay once, caps there. How much cost this assembly? Say for the 5 kilowatts, $1,000 it will cost. You pay once at 30,000 rubles. That will pay off in half of the year probably, $1,000. Cheap pay twice. That's better to buy not a batteries. You are right. Capacitors. You never know. It happens that the sulfation begins suddenly and premature failure.